It's Sandra. Welcome to Asexual Awareness Week, Day 6. This is Sandra with Asexualize, my asexual life, and this is a place to be for education about asexuality, all things asexual, and I share my own asexual journey in order to help you in yours. I am the author of Asexual Perspectives, 47 Asexual Stories, which is out on Amazon, and I'm the founder of asexualize.com and Asexualize Academy. If you like this video as we go along, please give a thumbs up, as it really helps to raise awareness of asexuality. Hello, Michael. I've got a very, very special episode today. This one's actually dedicated to my friend Andy, my asexual friend Andy, because there's also a guy who started writing to me who's not asexual. Yeah, this is for my asexual friend Andy. We were chatting on Facebook today, Facebook Messenger, and he said to me that he didn't understand kissing. And as it's one of my very favourite topics to talk about, I said I'd do a live stream tonight because he watches my live stream. Sometimes he can't actually make it on the stream. Sometimes he's on catch-up stream, so the ones that aren't live. But I also said I would do a kissing lesson. So I have to let you know that if at any point you don't like kissing and you think it's gross, you'll have to kind of just not watch the lesson bit and turn your head away, because it could be kind of gross if you don't like it, not into it, and you're like, ugh. So anyone who's watching this, I will let you know before I do the kissing lesson. So what is the difference between kissing an asexual person compared to a sexual person? I've only kissed my relatives during birthdays. This type of kiss is very different. So yeah, it's a good point though you make. Okay, so when I'm talking about kissing, yes, Michael's made a good point here. There are different types of kissing, okay? So obviously you can kiss your family, you can kiss your friends, or you can kiss in a relationship. The type of, or someone you want a relationship with. So the type of kissing I was talking about to Andy was the type of kissing where you're having a date or you're having a relationship, because I was talking about what happened last Friday, which is a week ago today, when I kissed the guy who sadly smoked, and that's how I got my chest infection. As you can hear, still really bad, still been coughing up stuff, I've got cold to go with it, sore throat. It's like, ugh. I could be feeling a lot better, but so you'll have to excuse the nasally sound, as I just can't help it. It's like I went out late shopping tonight for food and stuff, and I got myself a new dress, which is really, really nice. Whilst I was shopping, it took a lot longer than I thought it would, and hence why I'm a little bit later on this live stream than usual, because I've only just ate my evening meal. And I've cleaned my teeth, because one of the most important things when you're going to do kissing is to clean your teeth if you can, if you're at home. But we're going to come on to some kissing tips in a minute about preparing to kiss before we go into the kissing. So yeah, so this type of kissing I'm talking about is, when you're kissing someone on a date or someone you're on a relationship with. However, I will just touch on the different types of kissing. So Michael's right that you can kiss relatives. So a lot of the time you kiss relatives on the cheek, but some people, they kiss their parents or relatives on the lips. I personally haven't really been brought up that way to kiss my relatives or family on the lips. I've really been brought up to kiss on the cheek, but I think it was it my grandma or granddad sometimes went to go on my lips occasionally. And it's a bit like, it's too much. It's not. It's like all right on the cheek, but so obviously you've got to know what your boundaries are personally for kissing, which is why it's so important to know this before you get, if you're looking for an asexual relationship, before you get into an asexual relationship. Or a relationship with a sexual person, before you get into a relationship, basically. It's really important. Kissing needs are really highly important. People don't think about it. I make a big deal out of it because it's really important to me. It's really essential I get someone who loves kissing as much as I do. So we're going to be coming on to that in a little while. So basically, yeah, you can kiss your relatives. A lot of people kiss relatives on the cheeks. In some cultures as well, it's quite known that you kiss on the cheek like this, to say hello and goodbye, even if they're strangers and not part of your family, you've never met them before. In their culture, they kiss on the cheeks. That's what they do. So, there are lots of different types of kissing. Obviously, you can kiss your friends. Now, some people who are asexual might actually end up kissing their friends on the lips. I personally think that's overstepping the boundary between friendship and relationship. I personally think that only you should be kissing someone who you are in a relationship with. However, I do know that some people who are not actually in a relationship do kiss. Or obviously, what I'm talking about is, you know, if you're having a date and you want a potential relationship, I also think that's fine. But some asexuals, they will kiss their friends because they haven't got any boundaries the same as me. For me, because I'm romantic, I believe that the kissing is a romantic thing on the lips. And so therefore, I only want to kiss a guy on the lips if I want a romantic relationship with him, or I'm having a date with him because I'd like to be in possibly be in a relationship with him. It's a passion, it's a romance thing. Do you know what I mean? I don't, as all, ever kiss my friends. It's not something I usually do. There is a video a little while ago that I didn't do that long ago that I was questioning whether I'd actually go so far as ever kissing an asexual friend, because they did pose the question to me. Because I have kissing needs that can't be met sometimes because I haven't got a boyfriend. I can't just kiss anyone. It has to be someone foreign. I can't kiss British guys anymore. In the past, I used to have British boyfriends and foreign boyfriends at different times, so I could kiss British or foreign. But nowadays, I don't really get that attracted to British guys enough to want to kiss them. It's only really foreign guys. So that's kind of makes it much more difficult for me. Much more difficult to get my kissing needs met, you know, outside of relationship, because I'm single and I'm not just going to jump into a relationship. I still have kissing needs. Like a sexual person needs sex. I don't need sex, but I need kissing. And we're going to get, yeah. So now I'm going to move on from, so you get the idea that usually people kiss either their relatives or their friends on the cheek, but some people are fine with kissing on the lips. I personally haven't been brought up that way, so it's not something that I would consider doing usually, unless I was on a date with someone, or I was on a date or found someone attractive romantically. Do you know what I mean? That's I separate it there. Obviously, you know, you've got to remember when you are kissing, it's not just you kissing; it's the way people perceive it and receive it as well. So just bear that in mind, that if you are going to kiss someone, you have to be, you know, like say you're asexual who's into kissing their friends, right? You have to understand that if someone's just come into your life and they're new in your circle of friends, that, you know, if you go around kissing them and they think that's a boundary that's, you know, that's you've overstepped the mark because that's reserved for a boyfriend or in a relationship, you have to be aware that it's not just you okay to kiss someone, it's are they okay to receive it and how it's given. And this is the same that goes for hugging as well, you know. It's not just about the person hugging, it's about the person receiving the hug. Are they comfortable with it? Are they happy with it? Or does it overstep that boundary? Because some asexuals, they don't even like hugging. Not even to say hello and goodbye. They touch adverse. You can get touch adverse asexuals. And you can get kissing repulsed asexuals as well. Asexuals that don't like kissing at all. They wouldn't even entertain the idea. It's gross to them. You know, and then you've got some that are not that bothered about it. And you'll get some asexuals that only want a peck on the cheek or a tiny little peck on the lips. A peck is basically, you know, like that. It's or on the cheek, you know. It's very quick, you know. It's like something and nothing, I would call it personally, because that is like my stance on it, because there's not much to it, if you know what I mean. But to some people who are in a loving relationship, a little peck may mean a heck of a lot to that person. It may mean the world to them because it's showing affection, and that's their limit that they would go to. And you might find some aromantic asexuals that do have a relationship, are in a relationship, they might give a peck on the cheek, or they might give a peck on the lips. And to that would be the one of, you know, and maybe a cuddle in bed would be the most intimate they'd ever get. You know, so an aromantic asexual is someone who doesn't experience romantic attraction or sexual attraction. But there are some aromantics are in relationships, you know. And some aromantics might kiss and cuddle their partners, you know. There is one person who's not an aromantic asexual, but a sexual aromantic. So someone who's sexually attracted, but still not romantically attracted. And she loves kissing and cuddling her husband, sexual husband, despite the fact she's aromantic. So, you know, just because you are a certain type of asexual doesn't mean to say it's written in stone that you have to be sort of the stereotypical, you know, asexual. And so the difference, so we're going to move on to romantic relationship and dating kissing now. And the difference between kissing an asexual person and kissing a sexual person, so someone who's into sex, is if you kiss a genuine asexual person who's not on the more grey end of the spectrum, if you know what I mean, then basically if you kiss an asexual person, it means that, you know, you can enjoy the kissing without the sex. If, however, you are kissing a sexual person, someone who likes to have sex, who experiences sexual attraction, kissing is known as a prerequisite for sex. This means that if you haven't made it clear to the sexual person that you're kissing, if you're asexual and don't want sex, they will ultimately see that the kissing is part of the foreplay to having sex with them. And this is why it is so important that you tell someone early on, before you start dating them, before you get into a really full-on relationship. Hi Andy, nice to see you. Thanks for tuning in. This is dedicated to you for Ace Week, day 6. You're gonna love it. I'm part way through, but most of what's gone before has been been friendship and family kissing. We're now moving on to the romantic stuff, which is what you need to know more about. Anyway, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, by the way, if you're liking it. I really appreciate that. Thumbs up. Hi Heather, nice to see you. We've got Heather, Michael and Andy on here now. This is great. Yay, Andy. This is great. I'm going to do the lesson as well. I'm going to tell people if they want to look away at the lesson, they can do, but it's going to be great. So now we're moving on to, like I said, so the difference between if you kiss, so say I kissed an asexual, a genuine asexual guy. Remember, I mean, I only kiss guys for a start because I'm only attracted to guys, but obviously you can kiss women as well if you're a bloke watching this, and you know what I mean. So, or an agender person or gender fluid, you can kiss who you want. But when I refer to kissing, I'm talking about me kissing blokes because I don't kiss anyone else. So, yeah, so basically, if that's why it's so important, I was saying, to make sure you're upfront about the fact you don't want sex before it gets to the stage of kissing. If it does get to the stage of kissing and it's in a public place, you're going to be a lot more safer. But I mean, if that person then says to you, oh, I want to go, somewhere private, that means usually they want to kiss to make out, then to have sex. So it's really important that you tell the person straight away if it's in a really intimate kissing situation. Say you're in a nightclub and you're on the dance floor kissing, it's important that you say to them, I don't want sex with you. You need to say that. You don't need to tell them you're asexual if you don't want to, but you need to bring in the comment, I don't want sex, because to sexuals, it is always seen usually as a prerequisite, which means it's a condition that leads on to sex. If you don't make it clear you don't want sex, they will get the wrong idea. So when I was kissing, before I started, a few months back, I kissed an Indian guy I didn't kiss him. Sorry, I beg your pardon, I didn't kiss him. I hugged him, was really physically close, dancing with him, but I didn't kiss him. I kissed him one little tiny bit on the neck, not on the lips, right? So there was no kissing. I was shocked I didn't kiss him. But before I even got any intimacy with physicality with dancing with him, I told him I didn't want sex. And later on, he said to me, you're an honest girl, and I knew it from when I met you because of what you told me. And I'm thinking, what did I say? I'm like, oh yeah, I said I didn't want sex. So he was happy that I was upfront and honest with him that I didn't want sex. So, he knew he was never going to get that. He never asked he never asked for sex from me at the end. He just gave me a hug goodbye, which was great, and he knew he wasn't going to get that. And then the guy I dated last Friday, he knew that I wasn't going to have sex with him because I told him categorically in a text before I even met up with him, I won't have sex with you. I'll never want that, But it's hard because of the way I like to kiss is very sexual in behaviour, despite the fact I'm asexual and don't experience no sexual attraction. Zero, zip, diddly squat. I don't experience sexual attraction. I have to make that clear because I'm not normal for the average asexual person in the way I like to kiss, which causes me immense amount of problems because it's sexual in behaviour, yet I'm asexual. So it's very confusing to a sexual person, to be quite honest with you. Lots of people, like, if I'm out kissing, think I'm sexual. They don't think I'm asexual. So something I didn't tell you, last week, when I was kissing the sexual guy I had a date with, I was kissing him loads. I was kissing him in the street. In the first pub we went to, he asked if he could kiss me. So in the first pub we went to, in the street, a little bit on the dance floor, and where we were dancing in that pub. And the thing I didn't tell you about is the DJ, right, says on the mic, it doesn't, I'm quite a sweet and innocent person, right, but I like to shock people a bit. I'm kind of a bit like, I like to break conventions, if you know what I mean. Like, people look at me and they don't expect things from me sometimes. So, when I was kissing him, me and him kissing, he asked me to sit on his lap in the pub, and I don't mind because I'm happy to sit on a guy's lap. So long as the guy's got his clothes on, I don't even care if I feel his bit. His bit happens to be near me in his trousers, which is really weird for an asexual, I know. But so long as his clothes are on, there's a barrier between me and him physically, and he keeps them on, I'm happy, and also that my boundaries are being respected. So don't forget, when you're kissing, if you're kissing in a romantic setting, dating, relationship style, don't forget it's very physical, it's very intimate and passionate. If you're doing it especially if you're kissing a sexual. If you're asexual and you're kissing another asexual person, like I said, it might just be a peck on the cheek, a peck on the lips. You might not get intimate and passionate, because in general, a lot of asexuals, as I found, they don't actually like a lot of kissing, the majority of them, which is really bad for me when I'm trying to find a suitable relationship. Like, I've got a best friend, one of my best friends, he has a preference for guys anyway, but he hates kissing, well, females particularly. He'll only give them a peck on the lips. So me and him are in no way compatible. I prefer a foreign guy anyway. But me and him has talked, and he said I couldn't kiss a woman like that, like passionately. I have to have that. He can do that with guys though, just not with females, because he's got preference for guys. But he's pan-romantic. So yeah. So I need kissing in a relationship, and it's really hard where I am on the asexual spectrum, because I'm definitely heteromantic, but I have the grey area of kissing that when I kiss, it's very sexual in behaviour. You wouldn't know the difference between me and a sexual person if you're outsider. So when we were in this bar, like, we were a place where we were dancing, it wasn't a proper nightclub, it's like a pub that's changed into a club at night upstairs. We were kissing, asked me to sit on his lap, and we were kissing passionately, and then they come over the microphone and they go, will the two at the back please not have sex on the floor or something? I wasn't having sex with them, I was just passionately kissing with him. But the DJs, they can't handle it, you see. The security people can't handle it. And this is how I can shock people. And they're like, I don't have any inhibitions like that. I'm very much like, when I was really little, when I was really small, like 10 years old, up to 10 years old, I was a shy person. I was a shy girl, didn't really speak to hardly any person in my life. And I decided that the life wasn't working out for me being shy. It really wasn't. So from 10 years old onwards, I started to change myself on purpose, because I thought I'm not going to get anywhere in my life with where I want to go to it if I'm this shy person. I didn't want to be that person anymore. So I trained myself to come out of my shell more and more and more. And this guy last week, when we were dating, when he asked me to kiss, he goes, oh, you shy? Because I was trying to hide around the corner from these people, because it is a while since I've kissed in public. And I haven't, especially passionately, it's a while since I've done it. So I was a little bit, conscious of people around me. And he goes, oh, you shy? I'm like, no, I'm not shy. And after that was it. I thought, excuse my language, sod it. You only live once. Stuff what people think. Who cares? Just enjoy yourself, Sandra. Because I really loved it as well, because I was in that need of a good kiss. And he was foreign, short dark hair, clean shaven, really my type. Sadly, he was a smoker, and that's why I have a chest infection now, and I won't be kissing a smoker again. I never kissed a smoker in my life. I don't intend to do it again, but the adrenaline must have been rushing, because I was never ill when I was with him. My chest was clear, my voice was clear, I was so excited and having so much fun. And then all of a sudden, as soon as I got home, it's like I was being sick in the sink. I was coughing, my chest was hurting. I'm like, oh my God. And it literally must have been the euphoria, the adrenaline, dopamine hit that I was getting off the kissing. Because just like people don't really understand that people like sex a lot because of the chemicals it gives them, right? They like the dopamine, the adrenaline, all the hormonal stuff, all the chemicals that go in the body. That's really why they like sex, is because of the chemicals it releases, you know? But you see, I don't get that from sex. I don't need sex because I don't get it, and I don't ever feel like I want sex. But the kissing gives me all the dopamine hit, the adrenaline, and I'm a really naturally energetic person. As you can see now when I'm talking about it, I come alive because it's something I'm really passionate about, really into, and it just fulfills me so much, you know? I am so into kissing. I think I'm one of the most people that's into kissing in the whole world because I adore it like an art form. To me, kissing is like an art form with the right person. If you get the wrong person to kiss, it's gross, right? So some people I've come across, they go, oh, kissing's really horrible. And, you know, I don't want to say to them, well, maybe you haven't kissed the right person yet, because I get fed up with, you know, you get fed up with people saying to us, oh, maybe you just haven't tried to have sex with me yet. Do you see what I mean? I happen to have had good sex in the past. I just don't like sex. I'm not bothered about it. Don't need it. Don't want it. Don't get the urge for it because I'm asexual, right? So, but my ex was good at that. You know, I didn't like him in every other way, but he was actually good at doing that. But I just let him get on with it because whatever. I'm not that bothered. Do you know what I mean? I don't need it. And I don't want it again. Thank goodness. Hallelujah. And so yeah, but the kissing's a different story. You know, I could just kiss for hours. Like this guy, me and him were like last week, we were together probably, I think it was 7.5 hours in total. So I met him at 8:30, but he was 4 minutes late as well. And I don't like that on a date. If a guy's that enthusiastic about you and really can't wait to see you, why is he 4 minutes late? I know it's 4 minutes, but you have to start a date and the relationship as potential relationship as you mean to go on. And if he's already late on the first date when he seems so enthusiastic to see me, I clocked that, you know. I clock everything on a date. You know, you have to sort of clock things as they go along. Like, I don't like that. He goes, well, it's only 4 minutes. I'm like, bad attitude, you know, bad attitude. It's not good, because if he's already thinking that on the first date, what's he going to be like by going down like the months if I'd have continued seeing him, which I've not done. I've cut off from him now because he's no good for me. I had a great night with him, but, you know, I can't be with a smoker clearly anyway and kiss him. And he doesn't make me, he wasn't going to make me a priority, and all the euphoria on the night is not translated into when he's away from me in the week, which means he's kind of like in Fantasyland rather than reality land, which I didn't mind for the night, you know. Great to be in Fantasyland. Great, he was saying he loved me. I know it was rubbish, a lot of it, but I mean, he probably felt it in the moment, you know. I was making him feel great, and he was going, oh, I love you. But he was like planning all our future together of where we were going to go on holiday, and in the UK, I wasn't doing that. He was doing that. I just let him get on with it. I thought it's probably just a load of rubbish, because the sad thing is when people are on dates, sometimes the intensity of the passion, in this case with kissing and physical attraction with me with kissing, you know, he wasn't asexual. So, you know, that can kind of take over things and kind of like cloud everything. And you can, you know, guys can tend to say a load of rubbish. I used to trust all that years ago. Like, oh, it'd be really hurting on me now. Like, how can you say that? How can you say you love me? And blah, 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 blah. You know, but I did put in a text to him that someone who really genuinely loves someone, which I knew he wouldn't after one night of seeing me, you know, but I said someone who genuinely loves someone, who's crazy about them, you know, it makes them priority. They talk to them in between seeing them. They don't, you know, and they're crazy, you know, they like to share their day with each other and things like that if you're crazy about someone, which clearly he wasn't going to be doing. So anyway, so it's really important that when you're kissing someone, you're going to kiss them, you have to know that it might not lead onto an actual relationship. It might just be like kissing in the moment, kissing in a bar, kissing in a club, kissing. I know that a lot of asexuals don't go out to bars and clubs, but some of us do. But you have to know that it might not last. Personally, I prefer kissing in a relationship. But as I'm probably going to be single for a very many amount of years, I love kissing. If a good opportunity comes along where I'm very aesthetically attracted to the guy who's foreign, then if I want to kiss him, I'll kiss him, right? So, but you know, you have to know your boundaries. Like I said, make sure you know your boundaries. So the preparation you have to do before kissing is know your boundaries, right? And make sure they're similar to the person that you're going to be seeing or dating. Like I said, if you are only into giving pecks on the cheek, I wouldn't want to kiss someone unless there was some expectation it would lead to a relationship. Yeah. Well, with that guy, I thought it might lead to a relationship because he seemed really serious. But sadly, my intention and their intention is not always the same. So I've learned not to be so, I've learned not to take them at face value anymore. You know, he is planning all our trips out. I mean, obviously, Andy, you live in the UK. And Michael, you live in the UK. I'm not sure where Heather lives. So there's someone else watching this. So I don't know where you all live. But basically, the people that live in the UK, you know, he was talking about going away to Scotland together. He was talking about going to Bristol and Plymouth and Torquay. He was planning all this out. So obviously, when I'm on the date, I was thinking he was serious. Canada, thanks, Heather. So obviously, he made me think I was serious. But I only know from the fact I've dated guys before. I know what they're like, sadly. And a lot of them lie. They don't tell the truth. They fantasize. Some of them lie because they think they're going to get sex out of you. And, you know, I need to let you know this. This is the harsh reality and the truth, especially if it's a sexual person you are seeing. Even if they say they're fine with not having sex, you have to know the majority will still want it in the end. The majority will lie to get in your pants. You have to be aware of this, you know? So if as an asexual, I want to be with another asexual guy, I don't really want a sexual guy because I don't trust them long term. I don't think I could ever be with one in a permanent relationship because I'd be too worried they're going off seeing other women all the time, getting their sex or whatever they're doing. Do you know what I mean? A lot of them will cheat. They're not to be trusted, sadly, in an asexual, with a relationship with an asexual who doesn't want sex, who wants monogamy like me, and I'm not sharing. You know, if they want sex with someone else, go from my life. I am not interested. Do you know what I mean? I do not personally believe in polyamorous relationships. I appreciate people who are polyamorous. I appreciate they're like that. That's great because I help a lot of asexuals. There are asexuals in some of my dating groups that are polyamorous and I let them in because, you know, I believe in treating people with equality and I believe in respecting different people and what they like and what they don't like. But personally, I don't like polyamorous relationship. Not for me. And I don't want to be with anyone like that. I don't believe personally that it's right for them to go around kissing and having sex with other people. I just don't. I think that should be kept in a relationship, personally. But as I'm not in a relationship, and I really like kissing, and I do need my kissing needs met, and I, you know, like, when I kissed this guy last week, for 4 years I haven't kissed like that, and he gave me every signal that he was interested in me. He was asking me about where I go shopping for food, where I go shopping for clothes. He was saying that when we stay away together, he can get us separate beds or separate rooms. He'll pay for it all. And, you know, it sounded like he was being really genuine. And sadly, it's a good job I'm doing this video. So you know how people can con you, how people can lie, how people can cheat. So if you are ever thinking about being friends with a sexual and the sexual person fancies you, beware that it's going to be very difficult for you to ever be friends with them because they will usually want sex. That's why they're friends with you. Sexuals in general, the majority, not all of them, but the majority will have some sort of interest in you sexually. That's the way it is in society, sadly. There are some people who are sexual who can be friends with other people and, and then they're not having a relationship or want a relationship with them. But in my experience, usually one of the people wants sex with the other or one of the people sees them romantically in some way a lot of the time. But, you know, there are people that I know people like who have friends. I mean, I have friends and I have a friend who's not asexual. I've had him for years, but we don't see each other often, like once a year maybe. He lives in London. He's not asexual. He acts asexual though, but he's not asexual. When I say act, you know, he doesn't talk about women at all. I talk about guys more than he talks about women. He's a really lovely guy and we've been friends for years, since 2012. But, you know, we're not in each other's pockets. We're not seeing each other regularly. It's like once a year. Do you see what I mean? And he's foreign, but he's the only foreign guy I've never been attracted to in my life, which is very bizarre, isn't it? Like, I can be sitting opposite him in a restaurant eating and I'm just thinking, you know, because I do test myself sometimes. I'm like, come on, Sandra, you like foreign guys. Do you fancy him? Like, no, I really don't. Me and him are just friends. So, you know, not every person who's sexual can't just like you as a friend. But it depends what setting it's in. Like, if they're coming up to you in a bar or a club or something like that, you know, there's going to be some sexuality there because traditionally a lot of people that go to nightclubs especially, they're into sex. I'm not, but I like clubbing, you know, but I do like kissing. But I can't just kiss anyone. Like that guy I kissed last week, I actually thought, you know, he's genuinely interested, because I said, well, you're going back to your country in 6 months. So, you know, he's going, oh yeah, but I'll come over and see you once a month. And, you know, if I get to learn English, maybe it'll be different. And his sister lived in Exeter as well. So I actually saw that maybe there could have been a future between me and him, you know? He was making that out. But the reality is when you've got someone who's talking to you and they're trying to convince you of all the things they feel about you in that moment, you've got to realise that euphoria is higher, you know, the chemicals, hormones are high, especially for sexuals, you know, their chemical makeup is very sexual, it's very hormones, you know, oh, I like this person, I'm sexually attracted to this person, do you know what I mean? That's flying around, you know, and some people will say things to people to put them more in this romantic mood. He was really romantic guy, you know, really romantic as well, which I loved about him. Oh, sorry. And very intelligent as well. So, yeah, so he was into business, and I love someone who talks about business. But, you know, he did say all that stuff, and then when I'm away from him, he's not really texting me, he's not, and when he is, he's asking if I'm all right, but then he's like going to, 9:27, he's rather off to bed than speak to me. That's not someone who's crazy about me, like he made out on the date. I'm crazy, you know, I love you, Sandra, you know, it's like I can't get enough of you, you know what I mean? Can't get enough of the kissing. But then in between time, he's, you know, you've got to, when you're meeting someone, you've got to match their words with their actions. If someone's saying, I love you, I'm crazy about you, I want to start, you know, I have my future with you, I want to do all this, that, and the other, then when you're away from them, they're not texting you, they're not phoning you. And if they are, it's very formal, like, hi, oh, how are you feeling? Okay, thanks, friend. You know, like that type of thing. That's not the same language that he used when he was with me. You know, and when he'd rather go to bed at 9:27 at night, I'm not being funny, but most people don't go to bed at that time of night. It's usually a sign that they're having you know, that they're seeing someone else. In the least, it very much is like, then you're not a priority in their life, right? You don't want someone like that. It's ridiculous. You just don't want someone like that in your life. There's plenty of fish in the sea, right? And he's not asexual anyway. And he is going back to his own country. He might never come back. And there was some really bad things, like he told me, oh, if you meet my sister, because one of the secret ways of finding out how serious they are when they talk about all this stuff in the moment is say, okay, well, you know, like he was spouting off going, oh, I want to be with you, I love you, all the rest of it. I said, okay, well, you'll have to meet my family and I'll have to meet yours. And that is usually something that's done like 3 months later in a relationship or in a dating scenario. You don't usually do that straight off. But because he was spouting all this stuff off, like we were going to be together forever, well, for a long time, you know, I put it in there straight away. I'm like, all right, I can meet your family. And if your sister lives in Exeter, great, I'll have to meet us, you know, like soon. And then you can see where he's serious, and he wasn't. He goes, oh yeah, but if you meet my sister, you have to pretend you don't know me. And I was disgusted by that. I said, I will not be with someone like that. I will not be with someone who keeps me a secret and not proud of me. And then he said, oh, but my mum wants me to marry someone from my own country. See, so that's the actual truth. And that really upset me. And I went in there and I didn't even want to dance because I was really upset about that. And I've been with foreign guys in the past, right, who've been ashamed to kiss me in public or hold my hand even, you know, whether ashamed's the right word or not, but it goes against their belief. So I don't want to be with a foreign guy like that. If a foreign guy cannot be with me and shout me from the rooftops, he's hiding stuff, wants other women, he's not being honest, it's a load of rubbish, right? You don't want that type of person. You know, where it's female, male, you don't want that type of person. He wouldn't connect with me on Facebook initially either. So I know there's that, you know, and it really upset me. And then I thought to myself, Sandra, you know what? Enjoy the night. You've kissed him before, kiss him again. And then if you don't want to see him afterwards, you know, see how it goes. But if you decide you don't want to see him afterwards, it's up to you. And he changed his mind. He goes, oh, fine, I'll tell my mum, I'll tell my sister about you, I'll tell everyone about you. Which might have been a load of rubbish. He might have just been saying it to placate me. Is it placate? You know, to make me feel fine in the moment. But I thought, stuff it. You can either be miserable for the next 1.5, 2 hours or whatever, or you can actually take the bull by the horn and go and have a blooming good time, despite the fact he said that. And then if you don't want to be with the guy afterwards, that's up to you, Sandra, you know. That's your prerogative. He said he will tell his sister and mum about you. How much you trust that, I don't know. But I'm thinking, I'm not going to spend the rest of my night being miserable for him. Why should I let him? no, I'm just going to carry on. And some of the time I was dancing on my own because it's like he was a bit tired and had to sit down. That's why I need a nice young guy for me in his 20s. This guy was 37. He's older than I'd usually go for. And I can get a much better looking younger guy for me. But he was asking me, when I first started kissing him, he's saying, oh, what's my kissing like? Is it all right? I said, well, it is now. And I think that's a really important point to make. That, you know, like when I'm experiencing kissing, right? I love kissing. And kind of like, if you get someone who kisses you and they're kissing you sloppily, it's not nice. If they're kissing you and it's like a lizard or a snake feel, it's not nice. And sometimes you can kiss someone and you can realise they're just meant to be your friend. Like, I've kissed guys in the past. Excuse me. I've kissed guys in the past and realised from the first kiss, it's no go. I can't be anything but a friend to you because this doesn't feel right, you see? So I can tell when I kiss someone if there's possibility that I could be in a relationship with them just from kissing them. If a kiss feels more like a friendship kiss, then I know straight away I can't carry on kissing them. If the kiss feels wrong, like it's really physically incompatible, it's going against the grain, it's not nice, then I have to, like, you know, can't see them anymore because I just know it's not right. Do you know what I mean? So kissing is very, very important. And, you know, when you're kissing, it depends, like, if you want to kiss a little peck or if you want to kiss passionately as to which one you want to do. But if you're going to kiss, right, if you're in a situation where you're at home, they've come over to your place and you're going to kiss on the bed or at home, don't forget, if you're kissing a sexual, you're in your own home, don't forget to make perfect boundaries that you do not want sex. And usually sexuals will keep on and on at you unless you've told them up front in the very, 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 very beginning that you're not having sex with them. They will expect it and they will keep hammering you for it. So you have to be very clear. If that person goes on a date with you, they can kiss you if you want that, but you're not going to have sex with them any way, shape or form. And they may keep pushing you. You have to know this. You have to be very, very careful. Don't forget, if you've said no and they ever try that on you, it's attempted rape. I have to say this. This is a serious educational channel, not just a fun channel. And I have to be very careful about what I'm putting out here. And I have to let you know this is serious stuff. So just be careful, okay? I don't want to scare you. I don't want to frighten you off. I'm just thinking about you, okay? So be very, very safe. This guy did not come into my home last week. I was kissing him in the car just across the road, so I could have got out of the car and I could have gone across my road and gone home straight away. You know, be very careful. And a lot of the time you shouldn't even get in a car with someone you don't know. So you have to be very careful where you even trust that person or not, you know? If you do go in a car with someone that's fairly new to you, you have to make that decision. Is it safe? Are they trustworthy? Because you really don't know them. They could be anyone, you know, they could be a very, very bad person. It's actually not recommended to do that, but I did go in his car last week and you have to be prepared. Like, if you go in a car, can you get out if he attacks you? Can you scream? Can you smash the windows in? This is the type of thing you really need to be thinking about to stay safe. Most people don't recommend you get in a car with someone you don't know, okay? I do sometimes get in a car with someone on a first date and sometimes I don't. Isn't that what mace and a taser are for? Well, a taser you don't really keep on you, Michael, in the UK. In the UK, some women have pepper spray that they spray in a guy's face and stuff like that. I have a panic alarm, which I sometimes take with me. And luckily for me, I've got big muscles. That does have one advantage because my muscles are often bigger than the guys I'm seeing. Like, he knew my muscles were bigger than... Like, he said to me, do you go to the gym? And I said, no, I don't really, because I was trying to explain, because his English was bad, on his translator, that I can't really for my fibro. I said, but my muscles are big because I do press-ups on my mat at home. And he said, yeah, I can see them. So my muscles are quite big for a girl. So I do like that because I've got a bit of, like, force behind me, you know. And I'm very strong, you know. When you're talking to people, like, when you're saying boundaries, you know, like, you have to say no. If you don't want someone to go there, you have to say no, you know, and you have to go up in escalation of your tone of voice when you're saying no to someone. So, you know, if you won't want someone to touch you, you're like, no, don't touch there, you know. You can say it playfully, you can say it with a smile, you know, if you're putting your boundaries in place. And then if they start doing it again, you'll say, no, I've already said, don't do that. And then if they try again, if they haven't got your permission, you just remove your hand. You can go away from them and say, no, I've already told you I don't want to do that, So you have to be very good with your tone of voice about where your boundaries lie, You have to be. It's very important. Safety is the most important thing, right? This is why I always will prefer if I can get an asexual person, because a genuine asexual, that is hard to get, believe me, especially with foreigners. A lot of foreign guys sadly lie, and they're not really asexual. I was having this conversation with another foreign friend, asexual friend today, and she said sadly a lot of them are liars. And I don't like saying that, because I'm still attracted to foreign guys. And she was saying how they like white women as well, and I do know. I watched a documentary on YouTube as well about foreign guys really wanting to be with white women and trying to get them in situations, not very good situations as well, which is like to sponsor them to come over here, which I've already told you they've been doing anyway, trying to do with me, and they don't get anywhere with it. I just block them in the end. So, you have to be very careful. So you have to be careful of what the intention of the kissing leads on to. Now, I would much prefer to get a genuine asexual guy that I know I can kiss or as much as I want, because they love kissing as much as I do, and it never leads to sex, and they don't have all this hassle. Do you know what I'm saying? It still doesn't mean to say they couldn't be abusive. They could be emotionally abusive and abusive in other ways. Do you see what I mean? Sexual abuse is one form of abuse. You can get emotional abuse, mental abuse, other physical abuse, and sexual abuse. So you have to be aware of all the different abuses. And sadly, I've done an actual abuse course. I did was it 14-week abuse course years ago? How to change patterns of behaviour so you don't get involved with an abuser again. And 1 in 3 relationships tend to be abusive. So you have to know the statistics, and you have to be very, very careful. Like, that's why I prefer to stay single forever than ever get with the wrong person again. It's all about protecting yourself, caring about yourself, loving about yourself. At the end of the day, no romance, kissing or passion is worth risking my life over, or ever, I don't even want to live with a guy ever again. I'm really happy living on my own. I don't need to live with someone. So yeah, you're going to want the kissing demonstration in a minute, aren't you? So when you're kissing, before you kiss, like if you are at home with the person kissing, clean your teeth if you can. It's really, really good to clean your teeth beforehand, because obviously you want to taste nice for the person. If you can't clean your teeth, if you're out and about, if you've got mints, that's really good for breath. Chewing gum's quite good. But if you've both eaten similar food, so it shouldn't be too bad. Like if you've both eaten something with onion, not just one person, or garlic, because you might be going out to a posh restaurant. There might be onions or garlic. I don't think I'll be kissing anyone romantically anytime soon, no. But some of the other people watching might be Michael. There's 5 people watching now. So I know one of them requested this. So, but yeah, I understand in your case, Michael, you probably won't. So it's probably information you really don't need to know. But it's handy to just for general knowledge, isn't it? So yeah, so if you're at home, don't forget to, like I said, clean your teeth or whatever, prepare. If you're out for a meal, if there's garlic or onions, then just be careful and be thinking about the person you're going to be kissing, but at the same time, you've got to enjoy life. That's why it's quite hard when you're in a relationship to maintain the passionate kissing and still taste nice for the person. But it's like there's certain things that if you're doing certain, I don't really want to go into intimacy and other things at the moment, because this is a video about kissing. But for example, if you're doing touching in certain places, the men need to cut their nails. If you're touching, all right, I'll say it. Be very blunt about it very quickly. If a man is touching a woman's private part down below, he needs to cut his nails, right? He needs to be preparation, right? So he doesn't hurt her. So whatever you're doing in terms of physicality with your person, you need to be looking after yourself, maintain yourself for that person or for dating in the relationship. It's same as, like if you're a very sensual asexual that likes to feel and touch, and you're going to be doing massages and stuff, cut your nails then, because the worst thing is if you're doing a massage and you're digging your nails into their skin, it's not romantic, it's not passionate, it's not nice, So just remember, like if you're running your fingers up and down someone's hands because it's a sensual thing, again, cut your nails, it might be seen as common sense, but it's not common practice. People don't think about these things. Don't forget, give this video a thumbs up if you're liking it. So you've got to think when you're doing any sort of intimacy, you've got to be thinking of the other person in the relationship or date, not just yourself. And that's why when you're having a relationship with someone, it can be quite a lot. Relationships hard work because, you know, you've got to think of the other person. Like when you're kissing, like when you're at home and you're chilling out on your own and you're not kissing anyone else, you might want to kiss yourself, but you're not kissing anyone else. You don't have anyone else to worry about but yourself. Do you know what I mean? But when you're in on a date, I've sometimes wondered how lesbian couples deal with the long nails. I don't know. I have no idea. I mean, obviously, if they're into BDSM, they might like without the sex if they're asexual, but if they're sexual, as in lesbians, you know, they might like the nails. They might get turned on by the fact it's a bit of pain. I personally am not into BDSM, so I won't be teaching you any aggressive kissing techniques because I don't like it. So you've got to bear in mind that when the other person kisses you, some people, particularly sexuals, think it's okay to bite. I personally don't like being bitten. I find it aggressive, disgusting, and not nice and painful. I don't want to be bitten. That guy, when he was kissing me last week, he caught my lip. I don't know if it was intentional. I think it was unintentional, but when he was kissing me, one of his teeth caught my lip and it was red afterwards. Like when I got back, it's quite swollen. But I kind of like thought, I don't think it was intentional. I didn't feel like he was trying to bite me, but I wasn't 100% sure because we were kissing in the moment. I think I'm more experienced of kissing than he is. But, you know, because he said, oh, how am I as a kisser? And normally if someone's kissing experience, they don't really say that. If they're secure about themselves, they don't, you know, if they kissed a lot, they don't normally ask questions like that. But, you know, maybe he was just being nice and considerate as well. But he was better after a while because I started, there's ways you can do it to sort of control the kissing. If a person, like if a guy's kissing me and I like it, but it could be a bit better, then I will try and take control of it, if you know what I mean. So I will show him with my tongue the way I like to kiss. It's to be more stronger and more stable. So it kind of like, then he gets the message and then he'll copy what I'm doing and it'll naturally be better for me. I'm just experiencing it, so I kind of know it's kind of hard to describe. And so I'm going to start kissing myself in a minute. So basically, like I said, you need to prep for kissing, right? This is going to be so funny live. Oh my gosh. I'm going red now. See, I'm getting shy. Oh my God, Sandra's getting shy. Never heard of. So basically, I've had a shower today. My arm's nice and clean. So this is all good. So obviously it's, if I'm practicing on my arm. So when you are kissing, you really need to be practicing on your arms so that you can get good at it when you're kissing someone else. Because if you like kissing yourself and it feels good to kiss yourself, then you're going to know that the other person should enjoy it as well. So obviously, things to bear in mind, if you're kissing on the person's face, you can kiss on lots of different parts of the body. If you're kissing on a person's face and lips, you know, you have to bear in mind, like, I personally don't like facial hair. I find facial hair is a very big blockage to kissing. Because if a guy's got a great bush on his face, how am I supposed to snog his face off, like passionately French kissing? So French kissing is with the tongue. How am I supposed to do that if he's got a great big bushy beard on? Or, you know, mustache in the way? It's not handy. So really, ideally, you want the guy, well, in my case, I want the guy clean shaven on his face. Even if he has a beard, usually I prefer clean shaven. Okay. So when you're practicing kissing, right, it's going to be so funny. I've never done this in front of someone before. It's hilarious. So when you, sorry, I need to give a straight face. Right, so when you're kissing, right, I don't know if you can see what I'm doing. Obviously, if you don't like kissing, look away now because it's going to gross you out. But when you're kissing, right, you need to practice. So I like doing little kisses on my arms, see? So you go like this. But that is like, you can be noisy or you can be quiet. See what I mean? So you can either be quiet like this or noisy like this. See? So, and you can control the speed of it. So you can go really, really slow. And you can close your eyes while you do it, or you can keep your eyes open and then do that. So it's kind of hard because I don't know if you're seeing this. Let me know if you can't. Can someone who is ace give oral as a gift? You're talking about oral sex. So if an asexual really wants to give oral sex, they can, but that's classed as sex. And I'm talking about kissing without the sex here. So oral sex is not kissing. Oral sex is sucking a guy's penis. Kissing on the forehead is very sensational. Yeah. So, personally, to that person who's sexual, I personally wouldn't want to give oral sex to a guy. because I don't like sex full stop. I don't like sexual intercourse, and I don't like sucking on guys' penis. I've done it before in the past. I really don't want to do that again. The stuff in my mouth is gross and I have to spit it out. And I think if any guy really was doing that for himself, he would see how disgusting the taste of it is. So it wouldn't be a gift to him. It would be horrible for myself. I wouldn't want to do that, personally. Do you know what I mean? It's not something I want to do. If some other... I mean, on a woman too. Well, I personally wouldn't give it on a woman. I'm not attracted to women. Why would I do it to women when I'm not attracted to a woman? Absolutely 100 gazillion% no. I don't get attracted to women. I don't want sex with women. I don't kiss women. It's disgusting. I'm not a lesbian. I'm a heteromantic asexual. Oral sex is just gross, period. Yeah, I find it gross. It's not I can't do it. I'm good at doing it, but I don't want to do it. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, I want kissing without sex. I want kissing without oral sex. I want kissing without intercourse. And I want kissing without touching the guy's penis. I'm not interested in touching the guy's penis. I don't mind kissing the guy all over his chest and a neck and places like that, which I'm going to get onto in a bit. So anyway, so this is like normal. This is like kissing, which isn't French kissing, right? So this is just like lip kissing. Then if you're trying French kiss, you need to kiss with the tongue and the lips at the same time. I don't know if you can see this. It's so funny. Oh, dear me. So you have to like, go with the tongue and the mouth at the same time. Like that. So you like stick your tongue out and then kiss around it. Do you see that? Obviously, if you're grossed out by kissing and French kissing, an asexual can, if they want to, make their partner happy in that way, I suppose. Yeah, that's what I said, if they want to. The majority of asexuals don't want to do that, Michael. And the majority of them wouldn't see it as a gift either. So that's a bit of a psychologically pushing it onto the asexual mind, like give it as a gift. It's trying to, you know, it's a very what can I use? A very persuasive minded word, isn't it? The word gift. Anyway. So yeah, so you need to practice on your arm, because if you like kissing, like I like little sensual kisses, you know what I mean? Like obviously if you're getting stuck in there, you'd be going like this. Like that. Do you see what I mean? You'd be doing it quicker, faster. Obviously you'd be doing it with a guy's lips usually, but you can. Like when you're kissing, you can kiss someone on the hand, you can kiss them all at their arm. You can kiss them all you can kiss them all over the body if you want. I don't like kissing all over the body, but you can kiss them up the arm. There's like places known as erogenous zones. Forehead is the best part. It's the brain. I personally like kissing on the lips the most, personally, but that's for me. I personally like kissing on the lips the most. So yeah, but everyone's different. That's why I mean it's very important that you get compatibility right if you're going to get into a relationship with someone. That you get the compatibility right, and you know, and parents can kiss their kids on the head as well. Do you know what I mean? That isn't very. At this point, I'm talking about intimate kissing. We've covered the parental and stuff. I mean, obviously, if you're aromantic, you might, you know, and you're not, or if you're romantic but not that into kissing, you might want to kiss them on the cheek, on the lips, and the head. I do kiss on the forehead, but it leads down to the lips. So basically, I like kissing all along the arm, up here. So everyone has something called erogenous zones, and it's ones that make you feel more aroused, basically. And one of the things is actually the skin on the hand's really sensitive. So you can kiss a person on the hand, and then neck, man and woman, both usually like it. It's an erogenous zone, it's on the neck. Earlobe, guys love having their earlobe kissed and licked. And what you do is you kiss their little lobe, and you can go around their earlobe with their, you know, you can use your tongue as well. You don't have to be just kissing, but you can kiss like round there and kiss there. And then you can start whispering in their ear stuff. So you go, I love you. Do you know what I mean? And it's a deep voice, like quite a sexy voice. So asexuals can still be sexy. They can still have sexual behaviour despite being asexual, you know? I know how to do all this stuff. I know what a guy likes, right? Because a guy loves it when you kiss their earlobe and you kiss all around their neck and stuff. And then if I kiss, I do like kissing. Like I like putting my hands through when I'm kissing a guy, right? Obviously, when you're kissing as well, you have to be thinking about what you're doing with your hands. So when you're kissing, like full frontal kissing, so if I'm kissing on the lips and I'm like this, you know, like, but full on snogging the person. So if I'm like this, I'll be getting my hand and running it through their hair like this. And I'll have my hands behind their back and they'll have their hands behind my back. And then obviously your body could be quite close to them. You could have chests pressed together. You could be sat on each other's laps. You could have, you know, like you can passionate kiss. Like you can have your whole body, you can be kissing full frontal and you can have all your legs like round the other person. So say I was kissing a guy, I can be sat in front of him face to face, sat on him with my legs spread around his body, not having sex because we've still got our clothes on, but I can have my legs right round his body and still be kissing him. But that's a very, very, very sexual behavior type of kissing, because your body parts touch each other usually when you're doing that type. You know, if my legs are wrapped around his body, my bottom body part is usually touching his bottom part, but with clothes on. So that's a very sort of sexual type of behavioural kiss. But it depends how much kissing you like. Like I said, I love kissing. I love passionate kissing. I absolutely adore it, but I just don't like the sex. I don't want to take my clothes off. I love kissing with my clothes on. It's more euphoric for me. I don't like taking my clothes off. I start getting bored then. And I just find it much more sensual and much more, you know, better. It just feels much better. So, you know, like I said, and if I'm kissing, like I like to run my hands through the guy's hair. So when I'm kissing him, I might be kissing him like this, and then, you know, I've got my hands through his hair like this. And then what I like doing sometimes is I will kiss his forehead, but I will come right down his nose and then start kissing him on his lips a little bit, and then go into more, and then go with my tongue around his mouth. So when you're kissing and the tongue's going around your mouth, their mouth, the tongues are intertwining, that is known as French kissing. So your tongue like this. See, you got the tongue out. So you're trying to kiss them at the same time with your tongue. Do you see, like that? So you can practice, like when you haven't even got, you could do just your tongue lick. You can practice that. But when you're kissing them, you like lick, but do the lips at the same time. It takes a bit of practice. Should be like going like this. Do you see what I mean? So your tongue is moving in time with the rest of your mouth, but your lips are going to come. You're brave. Thank you. Yeah, I know. Thanks, Heather. Brave, like just doing this video on live stream, or brave actually doing this with a sexual guy. Both, I think. So yeah, so, you know, like you can kiss a guy on the chest. Like, obviously, if a man's kissing a woman on the chest and they're kissing naked, the man usually likes to suck, lick, and kiss the breasts. I personally don't like my breasts. You know, that's a zone that I don't want a guy to go on, especially outside relationship. No way. Shape, I'm not interested, right? But in general, I don't like my bottom and my top half being touched and kissed by another person. So yeah, but you know, like if a lot of asexuals don't mind nudity, and some will like kissing. Like I met on asexuality.com, asexual dating site, there was a guy who's a demisexual, grey asexual guy, and he liked kissing all over the body. I'm like, I can't be doing that. I can't do that. Sorry, you're not suitable for me. But you know, like a lot of guys, they like kissing the woman all over breast, sicking like. But I like kissing the guy's chest, so I like kissing him all down his chest. I will kiss his I can kiss his nipples, suck his nipple, lick his nipples. Me on the guy, I don't mind doing that. To me, it's like part of kissing. I didn't used to like it that much, but now I've got kind of used to it. I kind of enjoy it. It's like, because I don't know why, I just do, because I like pleasing him as well, but I won't, you know, not below the waist. It's like, okay, you can keep that for yourself, but the top, I don't even mind kissing him right down to his belt, which obviously if a sexual guy, he would be enjoying that too much, because the belt is just above the pubic area, which is where he has his bit for sex, so that will make him very aroused. Like, I can get aroused, my body can get aroused through kissing, but it never wants to have sex. Which for a sexual, like if you're kissing a sexual person, usually when you're kissing them, it will make them want sex with you. In the very least, it will make them want to explode their load, as it were. In other words, the guy to, you know what I'm talking about, don't you? So yeah, last week when we were kissing, me and the guy, right, at the end he did say to me, I need to finish off now. I didn't say anything to that. That means obviously he wanted to squirt his bit. And I'm like, and he did say to me, because I was kissing his chest, he goes, oh, you can go down there if you want. I'm like, no, I'm not interested in that. I don't do that, you know? I'm not going to do that. Ugh, do you know what I mean? He asked me, he didn't tell me. Which if he'd have told me, then, well, he can't tell me because you can't get a woman to do something against her will, obviously. And I'd already told him I'm not interested in sex. That includes oral sex, you know. I told it, you know, oral sex is still a form of sex. And so, you know, so I told him that and he just obviously accepted it because he has to. So, yeah, so I'm all right. But, you know, you can kiss. I had this stream minimized while you were kissing your arm, by the way. That's okay. That's fine, Michael. I know that you're probably going to get grossed out with it. So that's, you know, I appreciate that. You know, that's why I put in the video title, kissing lesson. So if people go on to it, they're going to see that, you know, kissing lesson, and they're going to be able to like go and make themselves a cup of tea or go away from the screen if, you know, if they don't want to watch it. But when you're kissing, obviously you can kiss some tiny little kisses. Like sometimes it's nice to have tiny little kisses leading up to big kisses because it makes the intensity of the big kiss more intense, if you know what I mean. So there's lots of things you can do, you know, and then obviously you can kiss all parts of the body, you know. I mean, even with touching, you know, like the inner thigh is, if you want to go this far. I don't personally, you know, I don't really want to go this far. Well, not at the moment, but you know what I mean. I'm not really into that. I don't want to go near a guy's bottom part. I just want him to keep his trousers on or whatever. But you know, in terms of sensuality and what arouses women and men, both women and men, if you put your hands on their inner thighs and run your hands up and down, that's the way. And obviously you can kiss all their legs, you can kiss their thighs, you can kiss their feet if you want, suck their toes, you know. These are some of the type of things you can go on to doing if you want to. So kissing can just, you know, can be like a huge thing, or it can be like, you know, like a lot of people that are asexual, they would be like, some of them, like I said, are kissing adverse, touch adverse. Some of them just want little pecks on the cheek or little pecks on the lips, and that'll be it. They don't want to be as passionate. But obviously, if you are thinking that you'd like to be in a relationship that's romantic with kissing as well, or you've got someone who really loves kissing you want to be in a relationship with, then you need to practice, you know, the kissing. And if you get good at it on your arm and you like doing it to yourself and you like the sensation, then you know the other person should like it. But you need to be quite controlled when you're doing it. Like when I'm in the guy's mouth, like if he's just going wishy-washy like that, it's not very good. I like controlled kissing. It's a bit like, how can I put it? I don't want it to put it, because if I put it a certain way, it's going to sound gross. It's a bit like you're licking an ice cream, but say the ice cream's going to drip. Say you're having Mr. Whippy ice cream. It sounds so rude, doesn't it? You know, Mr. Whippy, you know, the fluffy ice cream. Say you got the fluffy ice cream, right? And you're trying not to let the ice cream melt all down the side of the cone. You kind of need to lick right round it. Do you know what I mean? Like, to make sure you've got it all. That's the kind of kissing I like. Very controlled kissing. Rather than you have the Mr. Whippy ice cream and your tongue goes, la, 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 and the bits all flying off it. Do you see what I'm saying? It's more sloppy. So I personally like controlled kissing. Like I said, if you've got the ice cream, I think that's probably a good analogy to make. And you got like a fluffy piece of ice cream, you know, like ice cream that's just melting down the cone, that you get your whole tongue around it and go round it, and you're kind of like controlling. It's like controlling the ice cream melting either side. So you're like being very controlled about it. You're enjoying it. You're going round. Whereas rather than just going up and down in a little squiggly motion, not really getting anywhere. Do you see what I mean? And things just dripping everywhere, which is sloppy. That's sort of an analogy I make. It's very difficult without actually doing it to with someone to show you. It's kind of like, and you can't really gauge it just by looking at someone on the outside. It's what, when you're French kissing with the tongue, it's what they're doing in your mouth, which not really no one else can know because you're in it. And we should have a comedy class. You should have a comedy class. I think some people watching this might think it's funny. I can't do nothing but laugh, as you know. Even before I did this, I thought it was hilarious. I thought, Sandra, I don't know anyone in the world who's doing a live stream with live kissing on it. And I knew I was going to get some sexuals watching this, because sexual people, I have to let you know, get turned on by seeing this type of thing, by kissing. So any sexuals that are watching this video, they will probably be getting very, very turned on, very, very aroused just by talking about kissing, and especially me talking about kissing all over the body and the things I don't mind doing in kissing. It's more complicated than I realise. There's lots more to it besides the kissing. Yeah, I know. That's what I mean. I mean, a lot of asexuals, if they have done kissing before, they don't really understand all the ins and outs of it. They don't really understand the preparation. I mean, obviously if you're out and you want to kiss, you just snog. I mean, you might not have chewing gum on you, you might not have mints, you might not be able to clean your teeth, you know, and you just, you know, the moments you for it, you just go for it. That's what happened on Friday, you know. The guy was smoking. This is unrelated, but don't know how to whistle. I had to teach myself how to whistle, Michael. See? I can't even do it at the moment. No, it's not there, but I did teach myself how to whistle. Probably because I've got bad chest. That's my excuse anyway. I have to get back into practicing whistling. I can whistle to my mum's cockatiel, actually. But yeah, I didn't know how to whistle. I had to teach myself that. So it's really important that if you are kissing, you know, practice on yourself. You know, I mean, I shave my arms. Not many women actually shave their arms. Most women have hair on their arms, but I shave my arms. It's like baby skin. And that's why that guy liked being with me as well last week. He's like, oh, your skin's really soft. I'm like, yep. He's like, oh, where else is it soft on your body? I'm like, oh, God. I'll leave that up to his imagination. But you see what I mean? But you have to understand that the difference between kissing an asexual, which is the title of this video, is sexual. An asexual person, you know, genuine asexual person won't want it to lead to sex. A sexual person, I make sounds like a rooster. So funny. Oh God, I've got such a chest infection at the moment, so I need more water. I don't know what I was going to say now. I do love doing these shows. Sometimes they're hilarious. I couldn't believe it. I was doing a kissing one. I'm like, Sandra, you're bonkers. I'm like, yep, I know, love it. Because I just like doing things live, you know, because I don't know many people that go live and do stuff, because these videos are completely live, you know. Most people can't do a live stream, not for this long, with something that's just like spontaneous and stuff. They can't do it. So, but you know, you have to understand that if you're kissing an asexual person, you know, it's not a prerequisite for sex. If you're kissing a sexual person, you've got to know that a lot of the time they will be aroused and want sex with you. Sometimes the rooster talks back. Oh, this is too funny. Are we doing the comedy bit now? Anyone watching this will be thinking, what's going on? It's gone off kissing, right? So, kissing can be seen as a sexual type of act, but it can also be seen as a sensual type of act as well. So it's kind of weird of people's perception, you know. So for example, if a guy was kissing a woman all over the body, giving her little kisses and stuff, that could be seen as quite sensual to that person. But however, to sexuals, that would be seen as sexual usually. Do you know what I mean? So it's different perceptions. And when a sexual is kissing, usually it's part of what's called foreplay. Now, obviously, if you're asexual, you've never had sex before in your life, you probably don't understand what foreplay is, or you might have heard of it. Foreplay is things you do to a person physically in preparation for sex. That's what I mean. Like, normally kissing is a prerequisite for sex, which is why it's really difficult for me, because I never ever want the sex, right? I hate sex. I don't want it. It's not for me. I'm not interested in it, but I love the kissing. And therefore, it's really difficult for me to get a suitable person for me, because the majority of people, guys, they can't handle it. 5 minutes or less of kissing me, and that's it. They're like wanting sex. The good thing about this guy last week, when I had my date with him, is I told him before I didn't want sex, and he said he wasn't bothered about having sex. Whether that was true or not, I don't know. I doubt it. But he was good like that, so I have to give him credit for that. He didn't force me to have sex or go on about sex, but he did obviously say that I could kiss him down there if I wanted to, as I was kissing him. But I think he was just pushing his luck then. But you know, he was good because I saw him for, I think it was 7.5 hours, and we were probably kissing the majority of the time for 6 of those hours. And so I got loads of kissing in with no sex. And to me, that was bliss. He was really romantic. He was saying lovely stuff to me, or even though it probably wasn't true, a lot of it, but he was saying it in the heat of the moment. He looked smart. I liked his look. He liked my look really loads. And so there was the kissing was amazing, like 6 hours he kept going, oh, I can't get enough of you. I can't get enough of kissing you. He kept saying, I can't get enough of kissing you, I want more, which I was quite happy to oblige. But I mean, I've got far more energy than he has. I've got far more energy than most guys have. So when I'm kissing, I can kiss for hours, literally, I'm quite happy to. And I still have that energy in me. So whereas a lot of sexual people, they have energy for sex, I am not into sex. I don't like sex, but I have a lot of energy for kissing. I could kiss for hours. And to me, kissing is an art form. It's something that's very beautiful with the right person, not the wrong person. Someone who does the right type of kissing, who I'm aesthetically attracted to. It's really powerful and strong and awesome, makes me feel great. It's like, I like it as a hobby to do personally. If I was in a relationship, I like that to be a joint hobby together. Yeah, the kissing, let's join hobby up in kissing, and that's why I really need to be with someone who loves kissing as much as I do. I can't be with somebody who doesn't, because it's an essential part of who I am and what I like to do, which is not very representative of the majority of asexuals, I would say. The only people I tend to think that like kissing most are the ones that are on the more sexual end of the asexual spectrum, so the grey A's and the demis. There are, however, some people who call themselves heteromantic, like myself and guys, but the way they like to kiss is really sexual behaviour, like me. And I call myself, oh thanks Heather, I add the grey A onto my definition. I'm not a grey asexual, but so a grey asexual is someone who experiences sexual attraction in limited, rare or specific circumstances, but not enough to want to act on it. But I am not actually that. But I just like to add, that's what a grey asexual is. That's what a grey sexual is, But I don't, a grey sexual to me a grey sexual is someone that's sexual with grey areas. To me, a grey asexual is someone that's asexual with grey areas. But I like to say grey A in how I introduce myself, because I just think the kissing is so sexual in behaviour that I don't feel comfortable just calling myself a heteromantic. But in essence, I am really just a heteromantic in the sense that I don't experience sexual attraction. So I don't come under the actual, proper textbook definition of a grey asexual. But I just feel that, I just feel like I've got this grey area. Because when I kiss, my breathing is very much like I'm having sex. I make the noises like I'm having sex. And again, this isn't normal behaviour for the average asexual. It's like when I was kissing that guy last week, he was going, oh, I love the noises you make. I'm thinking, oh, this is good. Because he's used to, he's kind of like, if I make these noises, right, it makes him feel like he's wanted, probably in a sexual way to hit him, but I don't mean it sexually because I'm asexual. But, it kind of it means that I want him, because it means that I love kissing him, that I'm passionate about kissing him, that I find him attractive, because obviously I find him aesthetically attractive anyway, and that I'm really enjoying myself. So when you make noises, it kind of validates the other person you're with and validates what they're doing, makes them feel good, if you know what I mean. So actually the noises I make with a sexual person who's really passionate anyway is kind of like they're liking that, they're enjoying the noises. If they're a romantic person and passionate person, the same. But if they're not, they might, if they don't make many noises themselves, that's a bit weird. It's like the heterosexual guy I dated for 2 months last year. He didn't really make any noise when I was kissing him, but he wasn't used to kissing. He was just used to having sex with women, which is even worse. I'm glad I'm glad I didn't carry on seeing him either. But I'd much rather see the guy I was with the other day, but I can't see him anymore anyway, because I can't be with the smoker. I got chest infection because I was kissing inside his mouth, and the nicotine from his tongue passed to my tongue, and then it went in my mouth. And then I got bad chest infection, a sore throat, a cough. So you have to know that obviously if you are kissing someone, learn from my lesson that if you're a non-smoker, really you need to be with someone else who doesn't smoke, because it's not good for your health. I mean, I didn't even realise all the bad things about it until I looked on the internet, and it says, you know, that literally the nicotine can pass from their mouth to yours. It could possibly cause you cancer, you know, and the nicotine chemicals even passed on can be worse than actually smoking, the way it's passed on. And I didn't realise all these things. Well, I've never kissed a smoker in my life. I can't stand smoking. I hate it. But I know not to change people. I know not to try and change anyone. And I didn't realise till the date that he started getting cigarettes out. And because I'm like, what are you doing? Do you smoke? He said, yeah. And I thought I could deal with it. I thought I could handle it. I think the euphoria took over, the adrenaline rush took over, the kissing, and it's just, you know, it just like was whoa. And I said, oh, even though you smoke it, you know, it doesn't seem to bother me. Later on, I could really taste it though. I don't understand how it can be worse secondhand. Well, if you look on the internet, Michael, and do the research, it does say about it. It can be worse secondhand. But anyway, it's really bad for my health because I don't smoke, and literally, don't forget, he has his tongue in my mouth for the majority of 6 hours and smoked about 7 cigarettes. That's a lot of nicotine in a very short amount of time. And, you know, and that's all gone on my tongue, down my throat, into my lungs and chest, and into my body, basically. And, you know, like, nicotine can be in someone's skin as well. So even if a person stops smoking, it can take a while to get out their skin. It goes through all their skin and their pores. But, you know, if you read about on the internet, you'll see that it has got, but I mean, how does that work? I don't know. I didn't finish reading the rest of the article, you know, but I know passive smoking can be really bad for you. It's like passive smoking, even though he wasn't smoking near me. He went outside to smoke. But I don't know. It says something about it being second-hand smoke can be worse. I don't know. I don't know. It might be to do with the fact that cigarettes have got a filter. I don't know. Whereas when I'm kissing, I'm just getting the pure nicotine stuff. I don't know how it works. I didn't, in fact, carry on reading it. I just read enough to say, oh, you could get cancer through it because you're getting nicotine hits. And I thought, God, if I stayed with this person, I'd be putting that in my body. I can't do that to myself. I'm a really healthy person, even though, like, I'm ill at the moment with a chest infection and stuff. I have my fibromyalgia, obviously, I've got, which I take no notice of half the time. But that does lower your immune system anyway, somewhat. But, you know, I live a really full and active life. And, you know, I will get better from this chest infection. It's, you know, the stuff I'm coughing up today is, I don't want to go into details, but basically it's not as bad as it was yesterday, and so therefore I'm going to get better. It will take me at least 10 days to get over this. That's what it took last time, which I'm just, you know, taking my cough medicine, my throat sweets, and getting better, you know, and I will get better, and I'm positive about that. I just got to deal with this at the time. But, you know, that's a lesson that I learned, didn't I? You know, I tried kissing a smoker, which, you know, years ago, I would be shocked. I mean, I shocked myself, to be quite honest. I would never usually do that, ever. As soon as I saw a smoker, I'd be like, no. Ever since I've been a kid in, like, primary school, I used to tell the headmaster in primary school it's disgusting he smoked. I used to do that. I've always been really outspoken. This is under 10 years old, and I'm telling the headmaster he shouldn't be... Was it smoking or drinking? Actually, I think it was drinking with him. I don't think it was smoking. I think it was drinking. It was drinking with him. Sorry. I didn't mean to not tell the truth. It was drinking with him, not smoking. I told him he shouldn't be drinking because I was very, very outspoken. But I've always been anti-smoking as well. Really bad. I mean, like, these days, I don't go on about it because, you know, I'm just like, I don't. But pretty much my friends don't smoke. But I don't like smoking. I can't stand it. It's disgusting to me, personally. And it's not healthy for the body. It really isn't healthy for the body. But, you know, I don't want to pick up someone's I don't want to get cancer, you know, like, there's nothing to say I'm not going to get it anyway, and I hope I don't, and I hope no one gets cancer. It's really bad, but I don't want to make my chances even worse by kissing someone. You know, I can find someone else. There's plenty of people in the world. He's not asexual anyway, and he's probably leaving in 6 months' time in the country. That's no good for me anyway. So, you know what I mean? Move on, isn't it? Move on. But I just think it's really important to raise this while I'm here. It's like, you know, I wouldn't kiss someone who does drugs either. You know, you don't know what you're picking up in the mouth. Do you know what I mean? So, you know, but obviously if you are French kissing, you need to know with the tongue that obviously your saliva and their saliva is going mixed. Some asexuals, they can't even stand that thought. They're like, oh my God, saliva's mixing. That's disgusting, you know? It's hideous to them. They don't like it at all. They hate it. So I'm fine with that usually. But obviously if they've got, you know, if someone has Like if someone's ill, they've got an infection in their mouth, they've got like this, you know, you wouldn't usually kiss someone when you're ill. You'd usually like, it's natural, isn't it? Like not to kiss your parents or family very much when you're ill, when you're sick, because you like don't want to make them ill. Because obviously if I kiss someone when I've got a sore throat or whatever, I'm just going to pass it on to them. So you don't do that either. So there's a lot to think about kissing. You have to think about the other person and everything. So anyway, I hope this video has been useful, helpful and insightful for you. If it has, please give this video a thumbs up. I would really, really, really appreciate that. It helps these videos get higher up in the search engine rankings. I hope my little lesson was good for the people who wanted to see it. For the people who didn't want to see it, I hopefully that you went and looked the other way. You weren't too grossed out. Because I know that if you don't like something like that, it can be very gross. I didn't go into really, really long snogs or anything like that. You know, it's a bit weird doing it on yourself, long snogs. Not that I can't do it, probably. I guess you have to find something that both partners are comfortable with. Yeah, Andy, you do have to find something that both partners are comfortable with. But you kind of have to, like, for example, in a traditional sexual relationship, the reason why sex is such a big thing is because people tend to explore each other's bodies. So in a traditional sexual relationship, right, that where you're, you know, you're basically naked in front of each other, you're going to have sex with each other. There's different things. There's sex and there's lovemaking, right? Sex is when a guy basically sticks it in the woman. You know, I'm talking about heterosexual relationships now because I don't have experience of like women stuff, you know. I don't want to go into details really about stuff I don't really know that much about and don't get into. The only thing I would know about it is from what I've researched just to know about the topic or people have told me. But basically, you know, I'm talking about heterosexual sex, right? There's sex and there's lovemaking, right? Sex is when a guy basically just sticks his penis in the woman's vagina. I'm being really blunt now. And then there's making love, and part of making love is all the other stuff before the sexual intercourse. So it's all the kissing all over the body, all the stroking, all the touching, you know, and really feeling each other's bodies and learning what each other likes, like all the erogenous zones, all the places they like to be touched, they like to be sucked, they like to be licked. And that is part of love making, you know, in the sexual sphere. So it's kind of like if an asexual is going to be with a sexual, you know, there's probably going to be a lot of boundaries and things that are out of bounds. I was thinking only in terms of kissing. Yeah, but kissing can be all over the body, Andy. If you're with a heterosexual, it's normal for a heterosexual to want kissing all over the body. Kissing doesn't end usually for sexuals at kissing. Do you see what I mean? Kissing for sexuals is a prerequisite to sex. Kissing is like some people who are sexual might withhold kissing because they're not getting sex, and that's a form of blackmail. But also the sexual might not be able to kiss you without needing sex that badly. They might feel they can't control themselves. So this is why it's a huge problem if an asexual is going to be with a sexual. A lot of the time it's just not compatible physically. It's just not, you know, unless the sexual is not that sexually driven, has a low sex drive, is impotent, has some medical reason why they can't have sex, or really isn't that bothered about sex. You know, maybe it doesn't arouse, maybe kissing doesn't arouse them that much. Maybe kissing doesn't lead on to sex for them. You know, but these people are very rare to come across. You know, kissing, you know, like, I like to just kiss. Like that guy I kissed on Friday, it was bliss for me because although he's sexual, I never had to have sex with him. That's the type of relationship I'd want, ideally, with an asexual person all the time. Because I love that. It felt great for me. But I don't know how long a sexual guy could sustain that all the time and not want sex with me. Because sexuals have this inbuilt sort of animal instinct that with kissing comes the sex. This has all been very interesting. Thank you. Perhaps one day I will get a chance to use this information. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And it, you know, you have to, if you're in a relationship, you have to work out boundaries and stuff. But the best thing advice I could give you is try and get as most compatible person as you can before you get into a relationship. Like I said, there was that asexual person. I think you were on the stream when I mentioned that, on that asexuality. He was asexual, supposedly. And he was on a very, very sexual end of the spectrum and wanted to kiss all over a person's body. You know, he said, oh, I like your body, Sandra. You know, I'd have to do it. I couldn't not do that. So he can't just kiss on the lips and not all over the body. He's not wired that way. So even with some asexuals, you've got to like be careful. I had another asexual guy, heteromantic, and he told me he likes to strip off and have everything but the sex. So, you know, but you have to understand that kissing with sexuals is a lot of the time used in lovemaking. It's used as a prerequisite to sex. Whereas with asexuals, we just, if we like kissing, we just like the kissing, you know? So it's a very different mindset, very different expectations, which is why I did this video very recently about we should be very open and honest as asexuals from the start that we don't want sex. Because, you know, all this advice online constantly about you don't have to come out if you don't want to, you know, and sort of coddling every single asexual in the world as a blanket statement saying, oh, there, dear, you know, you don't have to come out. It's just ridiculous because there are certain instances when you do need to come out to people. Because even if you don't say you're asexual, you need to come out about the fact you don't want sex and make it super, super clear. Then if they can't deal with that, that's their problem. You either have to split company or that person has to work out how to deal with it, you know? If you want monogamy and they say they can be monogamous, if they're not telling the truth on that, then they should go from your life. You don't want that, you know? It's not worth it. So I just needed to say that kissing is not just like necessarily just kissing. It can lead on to a whole heap of other things. My ideal relationship personally is one where it's full of kissing. And I don't mind kissing all over the guy's upper body. But I'm not interested below the waist. I'm not interested in his trousers being off at all. Ever. I don't need that in my life, you know. I just get the euphoria, the adrenaline, the romance, the buzz from kissing. To me, it's one of the most euphoric feelings ever in the world. It's fantastic. It's like, you know, when a person says sex is orgasmic, I can't imagine how sex would be orgasmic because I personally don't associate that word with sex, even if liquids come out or whatever's done, you know, or noises made. But I kind of feel that kissing is a quite a, if I could use the word orgasmic experience, because it's just so euphoric. But I kind of prefer the word euphoric because it's less sexual. Do you know what I mean? So it's very adrenaline rush for me and I absolutely adore it. And I wouldn't, you know, I couldn't be with someone who wasn't into kissing because I feel like I was kissing deprived. That's how come I do understand sexuals, even though I'm not a sexual person, because I'm asexual. I do understand why sexuals do need the sex, because if it's fundamental to who they are and their being, because I need kissing as much or probably much more than a person needs sex. I mean, some people, they might have sex 3 times in one night. I want kissing, like I said with that guy, I was kissing him on and off for like 6 hours. Great. I wasn't kissing him all the time, obviously. I was dancing on the dance floor. Sometimes he was sat down because he couldn't keep up with me, as usual. That's so funny. But you know what I mean? So just think, you know, kissing can be a really big thing. Or you could just, you know, meet someone at a party and have a quick kiss on the lips and that's it. And out you go. Bob's your uncle, you know. And some asexuals, like I said, they might want very minimalistic kissing, you know. So find all this information out, you know. It's really hard for me to get an asexual match because the majority of asexuals that I know, they're not into kissing, which is absolutely no good for me. Because I may as well stay single then, because to me that's something that I do with someone. I can kiss myself, you know, but there's only so much you can kiss yourself and be really into it, you know what I mean? It's like there's another level that I would like to go to with someone else, if you know what I mean. So anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have got any more comments, questions, queries in between when I see you on the next video, please post them down below. If you think of anything, if there's anything I didn't cover that you want me to do in another video with kissing or intimate stuff, I could do that. But obviously I'll have to put in the title about what I'm not gonna do lessons in. Just to be clear, if any sexual person's watching this, I'm not going to be doing lessons in sex physically, you know. I'm not saying I'm not ever going to talk about sex with people, because that might be another show, and I know there are some asexuals that want to try sex, but there's no way I'm going to ever be doing pornographic stuff on this channel. Just to be perfectly clear, I'm not into porn. I'm not into showing my bits in public or anything like that. It's disgusting. So I won't be doing that, just to be clear. This is an asexual channel, but I like to cover some intimate stuff on it because I think it's really important, because there are people that do watch this channel who are looking for an asexual relationship, who are looking to date, and they are thinking about dating or being in a relationship with a sexual person. You know, some sexuals, they don't like kissing because they just like the sex, you know. I just have to make it clear, there are some sexuals, they don't like much kissing. There are quite a lot of sexuals, I'd say, are not that into kissing as I am, because they just want the sex, you know. I'm not interested in that. So, you know, you really have to get someone who's really into kissing if you're into kissing like I am. If you're not that into kissing, then it's not that big a deal, is it? But anyway, I hope this has been useful, helpful, insightful. Thank you for the 3 thumbs up. If I can get a 4th thumbs up, that would be excellent, because this helps these videos get higher up in the search engine rankings. I'd love to know what you think of this video. Please post comments below. If you think the kissing lesson was good, let me know. I don't want to go on for too long with it. I just wanted to give you enough. I hope you saw enough of it to get the idea without it being too sickly if you're not into that. And until next time, embrace your quirky and each other's. I will see you on the next live stream, the next video. Happy Asexual Awareness Week. Tomorrow will be the last video in the Asexual Awareness Week series. Obviously, I still should be live streaming, because I've been live streaming non-stop on this channel now since the 1st of July this year. So, yeah, that's a long time. It's nearly 4 months coming up, my 4th month of live streaming anniversary. But I love doing these videos for you. I love having an audience. So thank you, Andy. Thank you, Michael. Thank you, Heather, for watching this. I really appreciate it, especially as I know that probably at least a couple of you aren't into kissing at all. And there's someone else that's been watching this nearly the whole show through. So hello to whoever you are, and thanks so much for watching. And big kisses for all of you. I'm giving kisses to all of you. Why not? I'm in a kissing mood. Anyway, I was friendship kissing, but I don't usually kiss my friends. So hey ho, this is a kissing show. I just thought I'd give it out there. Anyway, take care. Really nice to see you. And don't forget to subscribe if you're just watching this channel, fresh to this channel, and hit the bell icon to get notified of every time I go live or post a new video. Thanks for all the love. Thanks for all the likes. Thanks for all the comments and questions. Have a rooster night. Bye, Heather. You're so funny. It's been great. Great. Take care. Bye. Bye, Michael. Bye, Heather. Bye, Andy. Bye, the other person who's watching. Bye.